Hi guys, finally! In spite of the fact that this car slowly collapses in parts and technical liquids constantly escape, I managed to aggregate temporarily all this, and now I want to tell a little about the choice of this car. So, before us SAAB 9000, the car in Russia very rare. Besides more or less efficient copies, at all a big rarity. No to be banal, I won't read information from Wikipedia, which you can learn. Today I want to tell a couple of words about the most important points at the choice of this model, namely about a condition of the most important component, a body. So, we'll begin. For a start, let's agree that we speak about a copy of the lowest price category. Certainly, the main problems meet in the cheapest niche. The car which you see now is recovered not the first year by my hands, and almost everything that you will see is already solved anyway. But according to photos which I will show, it's possible to see everything visually. It's a pity that at me the very first photos of the car, according to which it was possible to note that it's time to hand over its junk, haven't remained. But year after year I gradually put it on order, and now it looks as looks. First of all, it's worth paying attention to forward fenders. Exactly, here engineers of SAAB have played on us a dirty trick, having thought up the layers of fenders. They remarkably accumulate in themselves dirt and moisture, which begins to gnaw fenders in result from ice. If over the plastic sickles you see a rust, possibly under them for a long time everything has decayed and the fender should be replaced. By itself, it's already a reason for the bargaining. In the process of replacement there is nothing difficult. The only moment which can take away time is the minimization of all gaps after fender installation. The similar situation happens to doors. If business is absolutely bad, you will see obvious holes on a side surface. However, if in appearance everything is good, let it don't deceive you. It's necessary to glance under sealing elastic bands on the lower edge of doors. By analogy with the layers of fenders, these elastic bands also remarkably hold dirt and water, destroying a bottom of doors. Be not too lazy to pay attention to this moment. Quite perhaps that the door wall in appearance decayed on the lower edge, and as well as with fenders, replacement of a door is not difficult but requires time. It will be necessary to throw all giblets with old on new, besides to establish a door exactly and to minimize gaps. That is or your labor cost or service fee. With back door situation similar. Yes, and still, pay attention to a condition of a forward door under a mirror triangle. In this place it too often is given. Also, we look at the lower edge of glasses and a zone near a vertical level of triangular glass. Rear fenders also begin to rust around the layers, but as you understand, it's already much more serious problem. If you see a rust or, what is worse, holes on rear fenders, that's a reason for the serious bargaining, but it's better to look for other copy of the car. In general, the condition of rear fenders on this model has a certain approximate indicator of the general condition of a body. If fenders there are no claims, then inspect fender inside under a lower plastic slip. There are two panels which are welded among themselves meet, and the internal plane remarkably decays. This issue is resolved with small losses, but our purpose as much as possible to reduce the price, isn't it? The boot lid is the detail which, as a rule, causes least of all questions. It can be a little rusty on the lower edge and in corners, but in general, as a rule, everything is good. And here, on what is worth looking, so it at a joint of floor and rear vertical panel. It can be seen from within the luggage compartment. This disease, both from a car old age and from constant dampness in a luggage compartment, develops. As a rule, even if the welded seam dispersed, it doesn't represent a problem, and it's quite solvable by small forces. For example, by means of usual sealer for automobile glasses. As a rule, the front bumper, the lower molding of a bumper and a cowl don't require special attention, unless it's possible to check a front edge of a cowl regarding corrosion. And now I suggest you to look together with me at a couple of the moments on apertures of doors. And after that I will tell from 3 most important points of survey of a body, being guided by which it's possible to make the final decision on a purchase. On apertures of doors there are no special nuances except for pillars. Under a sealant, corrosion below can develop. If you see a little rust, nothing terrible, but if you see big holes, it's besides a reason for the bargaining or refusal of purchase. After all, it's a power element and an important component of your safety. If the compliant owner has got to you, he won't be against if you examine a welded seam of a roof and side panels of a body. If there is also a rust, as a rule it isn't critical, but it's important that it hasn't begun to be thrown on the roof. And now, friends, about those 3 major moments of a condition of a body. The first is a frame of a windshield. In my case, there is no weather strip anymore, as I removed it in the course of glass replacement. As a rule, it is. If you see the rust which is making the way from under a glass weather strip, most likely it means that the frame died. Replacement of a frame costs expensive very much, and it's more simply to find other car when such problems won't be. The second moment is a floor and door steps. Fortunately, these elements of SAAB 9000 are very strong and in itself partially don't decay. However, there is one unpleasant moment. It places for installation of jacks upon which special brackets are welded on. Places of fastening of these brackets are very subject to corrosion. Plays the role and the wrong racing of the current jacks when posts on the hoist established not under a front subframe and under those brackets. Then they cave in, and if not to follow, over time they punch door steps. And at last, third important point. Let's say you inspected fenders, door steps and some other. Now we take a flashlight and we dive under a rear wheel arch. Attentively we inspect the place where the shock absorber rests against the body. If you see a lot of rust and the hanging down remaining balance of a factory corrosion resistant coating around the spine, it is bad, but it's fixable. And here, if you see cracks in a body or especially the shock absorber is failed, it is a sentence. Refuse this car or be traded on the large amount. In general, it will speak about very tired body, which it's necessary to repair a lot more wear. Here also our short review of features of the choice SAAB 9000 body has come to an end. I hope I haven't really frightened you my twisted translation and thought I managed to tell something useful. If this is so, put likes, subscribe to my channel and write comments. I will be glad to all, guys. I say goodbye to you for a while, all thanks and so long.